Hey guys, welcome to a 2-year anniversary video on the Living Room Aquaponics project. I was kind of hoping to have a different video in mind for this. I was actually trying to get some upgrades done for this video, but unfortunately I sent out some quotes to about 6 or so companies and I haven't heard a word from any of them, and I've been really busy to do follow-ups, so it's just been sitting here. So yeah, I guess this is going to be more of a, what I'd like to be able to do with it this winter. I'm going to try to tailor suit this video for custom tank builders so they see what I have and what I want. So I'm going to, put that focus on that. And other than that, yeah, hopefully this winter we'll have this all sorted out for everybody else to see. Because 2 years is a long time for a mixed bag of. I do feel like I'm a little behind on that. But anyway, let's get into this. We're going to start with the bottom of the tank and work ourselves up. Alright, starting with the basement here. This has been a basic bucket that I took 2 buckets and I put together. Put some insulation in there to kind of prevent the bottom from buckling over time. Now I anticipated that this would easily last a couple of years. Quite possibly more than that, but I don't want to push the boundaries of these buckets as they were not intended to carry weight and water. They've been doing just fine. I see no signs of wear or tear on them. But again, if I'm going to have this system for 10, 20, 30 years, I'm certainly not going to bet these buckets are going to last that long. Right now, this is about an 80-liter bucket if memory serves. And if I do the math and the dimensions, if I can square up everything and get everything all nice and tight, and I can push it back a couple, 2-3 inches, then I think I can improve the sump volume by about 50%. Well, that'd be really nice. Especially how it really wouldn't take up any more space than it's already taken. So that's one goal. So coming up around the back side here, you see I just basically got holes cut into the bucket using the lid. It prevents things from splashing around, which is nice. Does a really good job. But if I'm going to take all this space and basically come back with it nice and squared, and have a nice firm base, I can put bulkheads in there and I can literally just do a better job back here. Obviously this is dead space, so I might as well use it. I want to keep some space from the wall anyway, and then in the future I could probably put a cover if I really wanted to cover it. There's a lot of options I could do if with a better tank that I have in mind. I would like to be able to coordinate this off in such a way where the pump will have its own little section, the intake stuff will have its own little section, and then the main body kind of will have like a living section. And I wouldn't mind getting like a crayfish or something. And the idea behind that is it would be able to eat up anything that kind of comes in here, I would suspect. Because as you can see, I got a lot of little fish in there. Now I'm not too worried about these little fish. They're not, I don't really need them. These are just a byproduct of having fish that like to procreate. And if they seem to survive well in here, then I have no problems keeping them in here. But again, if I can have a predatorial crayfish of some sorts that'll eat these things, that'd be another cool element to have with the whole aquaponic build. Is not only am I growing vegetables, but I have an ecosystem that feeds itself. So that'd be kind of cool. All right, coming upstairs here, we definitely have a pretty busy tank going on. I don't think the numbers are hurting the overall bio load of my system because I have a lot of surface area for things to do what it needs to do. However, what I would like to see over time is basically have this whole back side section here, basically a planted area, and they'll have the roots centered kind of in the center, and they'll have like an open space kind of over on this area here. So yeah, definitely want to get some shrimp for this system. So yeah, if you look down, like the roots of these plants, they do build up some algae and other things that kind of grow on it, which kind of they don't help the plant any. The shrimp would come in there and clean that right up, and I would imagine the growth of these plants would probably double in their rate. Alright, moving on upstairs here. As you can see, I have nothing growing in here. The lights are out, the fan's off. Basically, my basil did not make it, and I did too much pruning and cutting to the sage plant that it didn't make it, and I'm basically sitting at square zero. That kind of sucks. But if I can get these buckets sorted out, after I get the sump tank all figured out, because that's the base that has to be done first, so I know what I can do upstairs. Now upstairs, what I would like to be able to do, and this is my plan A, is combine these 2 buckets, get a new bucket, right? Not a bucket, but like a custom tank, and make it into a floating raft system. And then that way, like there'd be like a styrofoam piece that would sit on top. I'd have like 2 to 4 holes or so that I think I might be able to use it with. And I'll plant easier things like lettuces and whatnot, things that I probably should have done from the start. Anyway, this grow media works really well. It's just for bigger plants, I think. So yeah, I mean, going back to what's holding me back a little bit on that is simply I've been really busy, so any little step that I take, it's like, you know, a week would go by and another week will go by. I've emailed about 6 different companies in BC and Alberta about building custom tanks, and I haven't heard anything from anybody. So I don't know, I just got to go call them, I guess. I wish I could build the tanks myself, because if I could do that, then that's a future that I wouldn't mind looking into. But that doesn't have to happen here because I do have limited space. Alright, before I start rambling off into the sun here, I want to end this off with one other piece of news. All my YouTube videos are going to be merging onto Facebook. I'm in that process right now. And the reason being is because when I do a project like this, I have a lot of little things that I don't want to just put a little video out there, and so I try to put them all into one video, and then I got to figure out what I got to cut out of that video because it gets too long. And so I still want to be able to do it in this style. However, all the little stories that just come up in the day, like pictures, I like to be able to put them on Facebook so more people can look at them, engage in them in a much more easier, convenient manner. So that's going to take some time. I'm probably actually about 3/4 of the way through it. So I should be done it sooner rather than later, but give it some more time. Yeah, other than that, we'll see you around.